Here we will see list in Python. A list in Python is used to store the sequence of various types of data. Python lists are mutable type. That is, we can modify its element after it is created. A list can be defined as a collection of values or items of different types. The items in the list are separated with comma and are enclosed within the square brackets. Lists allow user to work with multiple elements at once. Different characteristics of lists are: lists are ordered. The element of the list can access by index. The lists are mutable type and it can store the number of various elements. There are different ways for creating a list. If you want to create an empty list, just define the name and assign square bracket to it. To print a list, use print statement with list name. To create a string list, define a list and assign the strings to the list stored in double quote separated by comma. And to create a list with heterogeneous data, define a list and store the different types of data to it. If the data is string, store it in double quote. There are various ways in which we can access the elements of list. First is list index. We can use the index operator to access an item in a list. In Python, indices start at 0. So, a list having 5 elements will have an index from 0 to 4. If you are trying to access indexes other than these, it will raise an index error. The index must be an integer. You can't use float or other types, it will create an type error. Nested lists are accessed using nested indexing. Here we will see some examples. Here my list is created with data P, R, O, B and E. If you want to access the first item, use print mylist and index as 0. It will print the output P. If you want to print third item, use print mylist with index value 2. So it will print O. If you want to print fifth item, use print mylist 4. So it will print E. Then we will create a nested list. So n list equal to happy, which is a first list, and another list with value 2015. So if we print nested list, that is n list with 0 and 1, it will print A, since 0th list will be happy and from it first index will be A. If we print n list with 1 and 3, it will print 5, since first list will be this 2015 and from it third element will be 5. If we try to access the float data type, that is print mylist 4.0, it will give an error since only integer can be used for indexing. Next is negative indexing. Python allows negative indexing for its sequences. The index of -1 refers to the last item, -2 to the second last item and so on. Here we will see an example. Here my list is defined with PROBE, and if we want to print the last item with negative indexing, we will print my list with -1, it will print E. And if we want to print fifth last item, use my list -5, it will print 5. Here we will see with diagrams. The positive index start from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and the negative index start from -1, -2, -3, -4 and -5. We can access a range of items in a list by using the slicing operator. When we slice the list, the start index is inclusive but the end index is exclusive. Here we will see an example. Here my list is defined with data PROGRAMIZ, and if we want to print the elements from index 2 to 4, we will use print mylist 2, the slicing operator, and 5, it will print OGR. Since the second index is O, 3 is G and 4 is R. Then elements from index 5 to end, we will use print mylist 5 and then only slicing operator. We will not mention the last index, so it will print from fifth item to last. So fifth item will be A and from it A, M, I, Z are printed. And to print elements from beginning to end, we will use Print my list and only slicing operator. It will print all the list.